A very good evening. Children, today I will explain about cell structure and the function of different cell organelles. But before that, let us see the differences between plant cell and animal cell. As you have noticed that the plant cell animal cell, they are having different shape, size, different cell organelles for the different functions. As you have noticed that in the plant cell there are chloroplast which is responsible for photosynthesis of the food, and in the animal cell there are different cell organelles like mitochondria which is responsible for making energy, that is why it is known as powerhouse of the cell. When we are going for the differences between plant cell and animal cell, the first thing you have noticed that the plant cell having the cell wall, but there is no cell wall in animal cell. You can see there is no cell wall, but the cell membrane is present. When we are talking about the inner structure, at the center you can see the spherical structure, and this is known as the nucleus, which is controller of the cell and which contains the nucleolus, chromosomes, thread-like structure in it. So this is called nucleus. And in the nucleus there are thread-like structure, and you are looking, these thread-like structure are called chromosomes. Okay. There are 9 cell organelles which are common in both, which are present in both in animal cell as well as plant cell, like ribosome, like Golgi body, like lysosome, like endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome, and nucleolus, nucleus. There are 2 types of endoplasmic reticulum. One is rough endoplasmic reticulum and another one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. In the plant cell the chloroplast is present, but in animal, except euglena, in animal cell there is no chloroplast, and that is why they are unable to perform photosynthesis, and all animals are kept in the heterotrophic category. So when we are going to know the differences, today I will show you a very good fixed model of the plant cell and animal. Let us see. First, look at this, the animal cell. Now, in animal cell, the outer structure, you can look at this. The center one is, you can see this is the nucleus, outer structure cell membrane, look at this, and this is Golgi body, look at this, this is Golgi body. Other name of this is Golgisome, Golgi apparatus. On the honor of this scientist Camillo Golgi, the name of this apparatus is Golgi complex or Golgi body. Look at this. There are many structure, look at this round spherical structure, and this is called, you need not to draw many mitochondria, this is called mitochondria. Children, these mitochondria is present in plant cell and in animal also, right? So in this you can see, look at this mitochondria. Mitochondria are making the energy currency in the form of adenosine triphosphate. So you can easily recognize these are the mitochondria. And look at this cell network like structure. Look at this here, which is outside the nucleus, present in the cytoplasm, and this is known as endoplasmic reticulum. You can see the endoplasmic reticulum here. Look at this, these cell organelles which is surrounded here. Look at this endoplasmic reticulum, right? So endoplasmic reticulum is spread in the cytoplasm outside the nucleus, inside the cell membrane. So these endoplasmic reticulum are two types. One is rough endoplasmic reticulum and another one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. When there is no ribosome attached on the endoplasmic reticulum, no spherical ribosome structure is present, then it would be called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And second one would be the rough endoplasmic reticulum. When the ribosome is present, then it is called rough endoplasmic. So you can easily recognize smooth and rough. The function, as far as the function is concerned, smooth is responsible for production of fat, and rough endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for production of protein, because the rough endoplasmic reticulum is synthesizing the protein. Rough endoplasmic reticulum consists of ribosome, and the function of ribosome is production of protein. So the function of ribosome is protein production, and the function of rough endoplasmic is synthesizing the protein. So both the organelles, whether it is a ribosome, is responsible for protein synthesis, and rough endoplasmic. Fat synthesis is done by smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now, moving to the next, the vacuoles, food vacuoles. Look at these food vacuoles, which is storage, the responsible for storage of the material. Okay, lysosome, suicidal bag. Oh my God, you will surprised to know that it contains 50 digestive enzymes, and it ruptures itself and digests itself. That is why it is known as lysosome. Lysis, suicidal bag. Siu, self, and sidal, murder. Self rupture, it ruptures itself and helps in the secretion of the digestive enzymes. That is why it is called suicidal bag. Lysosome. Lysis means dissolve, rupturing of this organelle. That is why lysosome is called suicidal bag. Okay. Now the nuclear membrane. The nucleus is surrounded by one membrane. This is called nuclear membrane, and inside nucleus you can't see the chromosome. I will explain in my diagram. So thread-like structure which contains the genes, and the nucleus is playing very, very important role, right? So when you look at this, ribosome, spherical structure, centrosome. Now look at this two structure. Have a close view. Centrosome. These are present only in the plant, in the animal, not in plant. And this is responsible for cell division, helping in the cell division. Okay. So when you study centrosome, it helps in the cell division. But you will be surprised to know that in the plant cell, if the centrosome is not there, and cell division will take place, by which thing it is going to be divided? The cytoplasm will make spindle fiber there. The centriole role will be done by the cytoplasm of the plant. Okay. Now mitochondria, as I already explained, that mitochondria is powerhouse, helps in the generation of energy. Golgi body packaging, secretion. Look at this 1, 2, 3. These are structure, spindle fiber, cistern, tubule-like structure, which is present always above this the nucleus. This is called Golgi body. Another name of this is Golgi complex, Golgi some, or Golgi apparatus. There are four names: Golgi body, Golgi some, Golgi complex, Golgi apparatus. Right? So these are some cell organelles you have to see, you have to remember the cell organelles. Now moving to the structure of this animal cell. When you look at the structure, thread-like structure is this, and the spherical structure which is called nucleolus, it was not given in this fixed model. So nucleolus is responsible for synthesis of protein. So there are three cell organelles which are doing the protein synthesis, doing the role of protein production. Number one, nucleolus, which is present inside the nucleus, spherical structure, produces the protein. Number two, you can remember the rough endoplasmic is also producing the protein. And third one, no doubt, the engine of the cell, a ribosome. Children, you have to make the table through which you can write the name of cell organelles in the left hand side, in the right hand side you can write the function of the different cell organelles. I'll make the table also, right? And here, as I was explaining, these are the centriole, two centrioles are there, and collectively we will call it centrosome. There should not be any kind of doubt. The two centriole joints present inside a membrane, and that collectively called centrosome, and they are helping in the cell division. You will have to remember that. Now, the mitochondria particles, rod-shaped structure mitochondria, which is known as powerhouse of the cell, and it gives the energy in the form of ATP. That is why it is known as powerhouse of the cell, right? So other cell organelles are also there. You have to draw, you have to recognize the Golgi complex, which helps in the packaging of different substances in the cell. It is present in the plant cell and both. Like you have to also draw the structure of mitochondria. Okay, now the chloroplast, this is present in the plant. Chloroplast, look at this, which is having the leucoplast, chromoplast, three plastids are divided into chloroplast, chromoplast, leucoplast, which helps in the synthesis of food, and that is why it is known as kitchen of the cell. Chloroplast is absent in the animal cell and present in the. You have to remember this. Chloroplast is both chloroplast and mitochondria are playing vital role in this, and both are cell organelles which are having their own genetic material, and own genetic material DNA. You have to see the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. D stands for deoxy, N for nucleic, A for acid, deoxyribonucleic acid. And these chloroplast and mitochondria, they are having their own genetic material, right? So you can also draw the Golgi complex. You can see the Golgi complex. Golgi some or Golgi body, Golgi complex, you can see. I want to also show you the typical plant cell. Look at this. The typical plant cell. One thing you are watching here, these structure vacuoles. Look at 1, 2, 3. The vacuoles are larger in the plant cell. You can see, look at this 1, 2, 3. Can you see here the food vacuoles are bigger in shape size? So one difference you can write. The plant cell contains comparatively bigger food vacuoles. Look at the nucleus is same as in the animal cell. Nucleus contains the nucleolus. You can look at this nucleolus. It's clearly seen here. Look at this nucleolus, right? The nuclear membrane and Golgi complex, Golgi body. You can look at this Golgi complex, right? So the outer structure of this plant cell is cell wall, and inner side this cell membrane is also present. The nucleus contains nuclear membrane. Inside nucleus there are nucleolus, there are thread-like structure, chromosomes. Okay, it also contains the lysosome. So when we are talking about the cell organelles, you have to see the structure. The mitochondria, which generates the powerhouse. Again, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mitochondria, and the number of 1, 2, 3, 4, and the chloroplast. Look at this chloroplast. You can see the structure of these are the chloroplast. Look at this. Chloroplast contains the grana and stroma. Look at this, 1, 2, green color, chloroplast. So you need not to draw many chloroplasts, you need not to draw the many mitochondria, but you have to recognize the structure of these cell organelles. They are different in their shape and size. So there should not be any kind of doubt in your mind that there are similarities in some cell organelles, but their inner structure, their inner shape size is totally entirely different from other cell organelles, right? So you have to see the chloroplast. You have to. I will also explain in my own diagram that how to draw the chloroplast. In the big size, you can see. If you want to know the structure of chloroplast, and if you want to know the structure of mitochondria, I will explain here for you. And then I will also explain the difference table. Look at this first. The mitochondria inner wall is making in force. This is mitochondria, and these inner wall, so making Christie finger-like projection. Christie. And here these are F1 particle. These gives the ATP, produces here the F1 particle produces the ATP. That is why this entire mitochondria is called the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, and the genetic material is there. So you can easily draw the diagram. Outer membrane, inner membrane also, cytoplasm. Okay. So when we are moving to another structure that is present only in the plant cell, and that is called chloroplast. Inner structure of this these thylakoids, where the light is absorbed, these are called grana. Light is absorbed in the grana through the chlorophyll, which are responsible for giving green color, which are responsible for providing synthesizing the photosynthesis, synthesizing the food. The photosynthesis takes place with the help of these chloroplast, which contains the grana and stroma. So when you see the structure, you have to wait for a minute and you have to see the differences between the different structure, like which one is a chloroplast and what is the function of chloroplast. As I told you that the mitochondria are present in both the cell, plant cell and animal cell, and what is the role of mitochondria, why it is called powerhouse. There would be question for you. Okay, so when you have to write the differences between plant cell and animal cell, you have to write in different way and through the difference table. Okay, so you will be making the table differences between plant cell and animal cell. But today I'm going to show you how to make the table of the function of different cell organelles. You have to make table of cell organelles and functions. So you will write the name of cell organelles and the function. Got my point? Number 1. So write mitochondria. Produces energy, responsible for producing the energy. Okay? You can also write powerhouse. Powerhouse. In the bracket I am going to write helps in the generation of energy. Right? Number 2. Chromosome. Helps in the transfer of genes. Helps in the transfer of genes. Genes, which is the unit of genetics. Genes are the carrier of character. So the chromosome contains genes, and these genes carry the character, like what type of character in our parents, and then that character is going to be transferred into the coming generation, into their offspring, into their son and daughter. So that is the helps in the transfer of genes. Okay? So after chromosome you have to see the chloroplast. Helps in the photosynthesis process. Ribosome helps in the protein production. Endoplasmic reticulum helps in the production of fat and helps in the production of protein and fat. You can write down lysosome helps in the digestion process. Okay, some more cell organelles. Nucleus helps in the cell division. Okay, so Golgi body you can write the Golgi some or Golgi some helps in the packaging and secretion. Vacuoles helps in the storage, food vacuoles helps in the storage of food particles. Okay, so when you see the structure, you have to remember the shape size of that cell organelles, and moreover after that you have to remember their specific function individual role is very important in this cell organelles and their function. So you have to make the table, two tables rather, you have to prepare one table for the different cell organelles with their functions, the name of cell organelles and the function, and the second table any 5 differences between plant cell and animal cell. So when you start, you have to make the table, right? So at the last session, I will start the assignment. Please write down the 5 questions for the today's assignment, and please log in through your name and folio, because there are some names which are not included in our school list, so you have to see that also. Now, assignment. Number 1. Write any 5 differences between a plant cell and an animal cell. Number 2. Write the function of mitochondria and chloroplast. Number 3. Why mitochondria is called powerhouse of the cell. Number 4. Draw the, again you can see, draw the, I'm giving you choice, structure of a plant cell or it is up to you, plant cell, you can draw plant cell, either plant cell or animal cell. Again, why the lysosome is called, why the lysosome is called suicidal, suicidal, suicidal bag of the cell. Okay, so these 5 questions you have to write in your fair notebook. Now it is up to you, just practice. So again you have to remember the plant cell structure, okay, and you have to remember the comparative structure of these plant and animal. So all these things you have to complete in your fair notebook of bio, and I hope that you will be able to write the function of different cell organelles, right? Thank you so much for listening my lecture.